I'm just going to say it. Your videos are terrible. Statistically speaking, the majority of stuff that's uploaded to YouTube is rarely watched and rarely enjoyed. And this is probably one of the reasons why you're here right now, because you want to improve the quality, the satisfaction, the enjoyment of your videos. I'm going to add a little bit of a peace offering here because I've just insulted you at the beginning of this live stream. My videos are, statistically speaking, not that good either. I hover around the average audience retention. And so as I watch your videos and as we critique, feedback, and give positive encouragement, motivation for your content, I hope to learn something as well. Welcome to the Wednesday vidIQ video reviews live stream. A little late, I do apologize. That's because for some weird reason, StreamYard has decided not to play audio in the way it used to. So it took me around 10 minutes to figure out why that was, so that you can both watch and listen to the videos that we review today. And that's what happens on a Tuesday here at vidIQ. We audit your channels. We look at channel focus, consistency, thumbnails, titles, etc., etc. Everything before the viewer clicks. Today, we do a 180. We look at the vital first few seconds of your videos. We critique whether or not you're saying at the end of your videos, thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed. If you do that, you'll see a very interesting response from me. We'll also look at your production values, your audio levels, your set design, etc., etc., etc. We are going to be the viewers today for you who want to share your video content. And as always, I could not do this without a trusty co-host. I am pulling double duty this week in the absence of Dan, and so is my esteemed colleague, co-host, Jeff. Welcome for the first time to Wednesdays. How are you feeling? I hope you're not too nervous, relaxed, chilled, ready to watch people's videos and give some positive feedback.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Let's see if Jeff can critique your videos in a single word every time. Like, be quick, efficient, absolutely great.
Trash. Trash. That's it.
I think we're going to use that at some point. Right, so let's try and get into this then, since we are a little late. As I said, Dan is on vacation this week, and he usually manages the forums. And we don't have access to them. That's how well set up and produced this live stream is. So we're going to have to go to our trusty backup, which is the screens here, our giveaway tool, where basically if you comment with this word, then you will be selected for a channel audit. Now, as always, we have a selection of non-gaming and gaming channels. So what I'm going to ask you to do, and please do this correctly if you can, is if you are a non-gaming YouTube channel, type in hashtag non-gaming. And if you are a gaming channel, type in hashtag gaming. Fingers crossed, it's going to capture both submissions, and we're going to try and switch between these two categories throughout the live stream, because we realize there are a lot of gaming channels that submit, usually around half of the channels that submit are gaming channels, but we want a nice eclectic mix and variety of content for us to look at. And to be honest, we get a little bored of auditing or reviewing Minecraft video after Minecraft video after Minecraft video. We want to try and give a bit of variety, even though the feedback that we provide is probably going to be relevant to all types of creators. You can already see there's over 100 entrants here for gaming and over 150 entrants for non-gaming. You only have to type this in once. So you can spam the chat now with a single use of this hashtag or the other hashtag, but once you've done it once, you'll remain in our entrance throughout the rest of this live stream, unless we decide to change it, because we may at some point change it to hashtag trash. I'm already liking that as an alternative.
That's always an option, man.
Yeah, Jeff, if you're ready, then I'll press the buttons and we'll.
Oh yeah, for sure.
First channel. All right, so here we go. I'm going to try and sync up my sound effects as we draw the first non-gaming channel. I also hope as well that we can find your channel name, because sometimes it's not always easy. So let's have a look at this first channel, which calls themselves AceNAS. I'm going to try and pronounce channel names correctly today, but I do sometimes struggle. Let's see if we can find you. We can. You've got 63,000 subscribers, which is a brilliant start. And just looking over your channel, I'm seeing animation. And yeah, I think we're going to have an animation channel to look at here first with relatively short videos, Jeff. Is there anyone that's jumping out at you to view?
My goodbye to this channel? Are they giving up? What's happening here?
Now, this is an interesting question. You submitted your channel for a video review, and you're saying goodbye to the channel. Does that mean
getting mixed signals? I'm getting mixed signals here.
Yeah. What should we pick? Let's pick this one that was from a year ago, just to get an idea of the typical type of content that you create. So we'll play it for around about 15 to 30 seconds, and then we'll start to critique what we're seeing here. Hopefully you can all hear.
If you've been around my channel for a while, you notice it's been a bit chaotic. Videos had been set in private or had been deleted. For the longest time, I had no idea what I wanted to do on this channel. And as the chaotic introverted person that I am, I started doubting about some of the videos I had on my channel. It just seemed out of place. I wanted to do a comeback, but I just didn't know how. So right now, what I'm doing is coming back.
All right, I'm going to pause it there. 25 seconds in. This is obviously a very short video, but in terms of an intro, a video hook, Jeff, has it done enough to persuade you to watch the rest of the video content, or could there be work done here?
I would say there could be work done here, but I'm also getting the vibe that either one, this is maybe their first channel and they moved on to a different channel, because it would psychologically, it doesn't make any sense for them to submit this channel. So I'm wondering if we're looking at the wrong one, because I'm also getting that in the chat that they're saying we're looking at the wrong channel.
Oh, hang on.
So
I'll be right here. I'll tell you what it is. It's because this is it says sticks on the end. There we go. All right, we found a new.
Mile 21.
All right, I do apologize. Let's try again, shall we?
Yeah, no worries.
Welcome to YouTube. You're 6 days old. All right. Let's try this again. Should we just go for the latest one?
Sure.
Working mail delivery person. Again, first 15 to 30 seconds.
In my 21 years of living, I've spent 1 year working as a mail delivery person. Being a delivery person was fun. You actually have a lot of freedom in how you want to do things, just as long as the mail is delivered before 5 p.m. And you've probably never worked as a mailman before. So let me explain how things go down. First, in the morning...
Okay then, first 15 seconds there. What do you reckon to a hook, Jeff?
It's not bad. A little bit slow on the pacing, in my opinion, but not bad. Could use a little bit of work in my estimation.
Do you feel as if you got an indication of the story or the hook, like you know what you're going to be watching for the rest of the video, or was it vague or to the point?
I think it might have been a little too vague for me personally. So I probably would have checked out, not to sound rude, but I probably would have checked out by then. So that's probably something that they need to kind of work a little bit more on is that hook. And some people think, oh, the first 30 seconds, it really has to be like the first 5, 10, 15 have to be really, really strong to really hold somebody's attention. So that's probably one of the first things that I would try doing.
I would credit the animation level. It seems to be a fairly decent standard already for your content. Although I think you've been at this for a couple of years. I think the one huge thing that's missing from what I've heard so far are sound effects, possibly music. I'm just going to play it again and listen to the video. Don't necessarily watch it, just listen to it.
In my 21 years of living, I've spent 1 year working as a mail delivery person. Being a delivery person was fun. You actually have a lot of freedom in how you want to do things, just as long as the mail is delivered before 5 p.m.
So it's just a voice narration, nothing else. I saw opportunities there to include like a spinning sound effect when you were spinning the person around into a mail delivery person, maybe steps as you were walking. And if you wanted to try and inject some pace or maybe slow the video down, an underlying music track, I think, might help as well. Especially when we're talking about animation, where you really have to, as well as making it visually impressive, have the audio behind it as well. So definitely think about implementing sound effects into your content. Also, I think the narration was solid. I can obviously hear that English is your second language, and I'm always going to be in awe of people who speak multiple languages, because most people who speak English as their first language are terrible at second languages. The narration felt a little fast because you have a little bit of an accent. I find it a little difficult to follow. So maybe just slowing down the narration, just like 10 or 20% would have been my thoughts as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it could work in that sense, because at least they've got that down. Storytelling is probably going to be a strong suit as far as this type of a channel is concerned. I think it's more, if anything, just in the pacing. Adding the sound effects can add a little bit of punch to it. But yeah, no, I agree with that.
All right, I'm going to jump into like just 2 minutes in and just get an idea of, let's say the viewer's now committed to watching the rest of this video, wherever they are halfway through the video.
Same story as last Wednesday. They should fire you.
Oh, sound effects. That was the first one.
First of all, I only worked on Saturdays, so I couldn't even know what she was talking about. Second of all, that was rude. Yes, I made a mistake. We all do sometimes. I'm not perfect like Squidward. But that
So what I like there is the animation is showing strong emotions, and it's changing quite a lot as well. Every 1 or 2 seconds there's a new animation to see. Some animations, it's very basic and nothing much is happening, but I feel as if there's enough motion and action here to keep me going. And there are hints of sound effects, but I would say you could crank up the number of sound effects and, again, music to another level to add that extra layer of entertainment for the viewer.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad though. I like where it's going, and I like the pace that they're starting off, because obviously they've restarting a new channel here. Yeah. So 35 subs so far, so not bad. I think just continue to work on that pace, whatever pace works for them, and hopefully doesn't burn them out. I think that's going to be really important to sort of moving forward there. But one thing that I would want them to look into, and I'm sure they're probably at least somewhat familiar with it because we've seen them add some sound effects. Sound design is super important when it comes to movies, when it comes to audio, anything of along those lines. You'll hear it. You hear it in cartoons all the time. So like when you would hear like Tom and Jerry, when Tom would be sneaking up, stuff like that. So that stuff is really important to help elicit emotion on your story. So a little bit of research into that could really come in handy, whether it's music, whether it's sound effects, but anything that can help illustrate those points, I think could really help you kind of step your game up here.
One way you can maybe experiment with this is with the video that you've already made, the Male Chaos one. You could try and take some snippets from that and turn them into shorts, but just add some sound effects to them to maybe experiment without having to go through the whole process of making a brand new video. Because I know for your animations, it's probably going to take you a couple of months per animation if this is the level of detail that you're working towards. So that could be one way to quickly experiment with better sound effects. So that is AceNAS. I hope I pronounced your channel correctly. Now we're going to move on to our first gaming channel. We can see there's already...
Oh, but also, one thing, if you could do us a favor, Rob, we need slow mode.
On the chats. All right, let's...
Yes. So, yeah, because the spam is out of control since the kids can't... they don't understand that you only have to enter it once, and that spamming doesn't actually improve your odds.
Slow mode has been enabled for everybody. Just ensure that you only type in #gaming or #non-gaming once on the submissions. Right, I now need to try and find this channel, Kitchen with Saba. I think you may have put this on the wrong one, because this is not... So you've made the other mistake.
The opposite side.
This is not a gaming channel. So, Kitchen Saba, I'm going to ask you to input that back in. And yeah, follow the rules. Please follow the rules. Let's draw a gaming channel.
It's very simple. If you have a gaming channel, it's #gaming. If you don't have a gaming channel, which is food, vlogging, tech, whatever it is, that counts as non-gaming.
we see it so often where people add their
All right.
gaming channels to the non-gaming channels. It's the first time I think I've seen it the other way around.
Yeah, weird.
Black F12 to me, Jeff, definitely looks like a gaming channel.
Yeah.
So they're posting on a fairly frequent basis. I must confess, I don't know what the game is, unless it's Zenless Zone Zero from the titles. Let's pick this one. What is the new Eridu?
All right, guys, Black F here, and today we are going to talk about what is New Iridu. Now, let's get started. New Iridu. New Iridu is the last mega city in this apocalypse world. This city is described as a colorful metropolis because it's home for many disaster refugee and survival of other settlement. The life of New Iridu is right next to the hollow itself. Yes, and has a quite few of them. But rather than panic and run for your
Okay, 30 seconds in, Jeff. First impressions on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that he's, they're basically telling us what this new Eridu place is, or kind of explaining it. And from the hook, the way that they did it, they got pretty much straight into it. Like it was very, very quick. So thank you for not wasting the viewer's time. That's a big plus that we're already seeing. And I'm getting the vibe so far in those first 30 seconds that I am going to learn what this place map location is going to be if I'm interested in this. So far I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I agree that the creator is definitely honoring the viewer's time. This type of video could very easily be 4, 5, 6 minutes, and I can tell that they've definitely thought about what they want to deliver to their audience in a quick and efficient manner, and they've definitely scripted it as well. I could tell that through the narration. I thought the editing was quite clean and sharp. I'm going to mute it this time, but you can see that there's some nice motion on screen all of the time. They're switching from cutscene to cutscene. It's all game footage, and I think that's fair. But as you can see, like every 3 or 4 seconds, we're seeing something new and interesting about the game. What I will say, I don't know if you share these sentiments with me, Jeff, but I thought it was a little difficult to follow the narration. Whether, again, because of the creator's accent or because of how they'd set their microphone, it sounded as if it was a little deep and bassy, but I'll just play a few more seconds and see if you agree with me on that.
This city survived the Hollow disaster by doing a couple of things, like mastering a technology from the old civilization and from Hollow itself.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, it's most likely that's what it is. It could just be either one, a lower quality mic, or some of the EQ settings that have been applied. And that takes some time, because even if you go back in my own audio journey with getting my audio setup done, for the longest time it was too bassy, in my opinion. So it really took somebody I'm saying, hey, listen to my audio. You tell me, I need a third party. And they came back and they were like, yeah, you need to make a bit of an adjustment on the bass, reduce it here, lift it here. And that really did help to get more clarity out of the sound. But I think that's what it is. I don't think it's their accent, because I can understand what they're saying. It's just the audio quality of it coming through could use a little bit of an improvement, but it's not huge.
Yeah. So I think generally we have some fairly positive feedback for this channel. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm just going to watch one more video. I'm going to go for this one, which is like a nice number of views. Like it's got 400 views.
Alright guys, Black F here, and today we are going to talk about weathering wave before in-game event. And this is all info we can get from outside game before the beta test. And before I started, don't forget to pre-register on that tab. It's already there, yeah, so go ahead. And now let's get started.
So again, similar type of intro there, Jeff, like telling you, I think it's telling you a lot of the what's. I think if I was going to try and enhance this intro a little bit, I would maybe try to explain a bit more of a why. In terms of, so I'm going to introduce you to this game, Wuthering Wave, and it's in beta right now. So this is your chance to get early access and to build experience in the game before it's released to the broader audience, so that you are going to be a better player in this game and have more experience points or whatever. I felt as if there was similar to the thumbnail, the title, the value proposition, a little more why to get me excited might be something that they can add. Did you anything else?
No, I mean, for the most part, that would make a lot of sense to me, especially since they're including a call to action in there. Like, you know, he was saying, hey, you can pre-register, that sort of stuff. But why, right? Like, if you like it. Now, this is the key. If you like this game genuinely already, as the creator, then if you feel excited enough about it to tell people to use a call to action, then a little bit of why. Like, hey, I'm really excited about this game. I've already pre-registered. Obviously, this is what I'm doing. So if you guys want to pre-register too, go ahead and hit the link that's in the video description. So use it in that sense. Give them a reason why, a bit of encouragement if that's what you want. Even if it's like, whether it's like an affiliate link or not, you know, it's one of those things where if you want to get them to do it, yeah, the why really helps.
Again, I'm just letting it play through, and there's enough scene changes here and pattern interrupts. You are, of course, relying quite a lot on the game footage. Maybe going down the road, we're talking like the next 6 to 12 months, you might want to think about being on camera at some point, just to add some more personality to your content, but I don't think that's necessarily required just yet.
Yeah.
And now, Jeff, what I'm going to do is watch maybe the last 20 seconds to see if they do a good end screen. Like, what should the viewer do next?
To weathering wave at tap. It's already there. That's all from me.
Okay.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Until then, see you next time.
Okay, I have a lot of thoughts about that, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah, no, so they need to kind of rework that, right? A lot of creators get, as we're new and we don't kind of know better, we'll get caught up in these like end screen templates with all these video options and subscribe buttons and all that stuff, and it looks fancy. Really not necessary. Like 100% not necessary. What I would want them to do, because they did include a call to action at the very end, but I would give that reminder maybe a little bit further back, but for the end of the video, once you know your video is going to end, after that, just, you know, don't say, hey, that's it for me, blah, 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 blah. None of that. No exit words. Just tell people where they should go next. Like, hey, if you're interested in this game, and if you know another game that's similar to Wuthering Wave that these types of people would be into, then send them to that video on your channel. Send them directly one video. Just send them directly to that video. Say, hey, if you like Wuthering Wave, you'll like blank. Check out the video right here on the screen, and then get out of there. So yeah, none of the extras. Just send them to another video.
The thanks for watching graphic was a clear signal to the viewer that you don't need to watch anything else. This video, this template design is very much from YouTube of 2014, where this is just what everybody would do, and you download these templates and you'd think, yeah, viewers are automatically going to choose one of the 4 options I've just given them.
Nope.
That's not the case. As Jeff said, tell them one thing they should do and exactly why they should do it. So if it's related to this game, or as Jeff said, like a similar game, or a particular character in this game, something that's likely to get the viewer to click on one thing, whatever it is. Always think about what, because if the viewer gets to the end of a video, and let's say there's 20 to 30% people watching by that point, they're probably satisfied by what you've done. They're willing to watch more, but you've got to push them to that next video.
Yep.
So
you have to guide them. That's the word I like to use. You have to guide them in the correct direction. But doing it, so basically I was doing what this person was doing for years, right? And my end screen click rates were less than 5%. Like, they were tiny.
Yeah.
And once I switched over to that, where I know before I even start recording the video, I've already have that as part of my checklist. What video am I going to send them to next? I already have that established. So the outro, quote unquote outro, already has what is this viewer interested in? Because why did they click on this video in the first place? Oh, they're interested in getting something that's under $50. So let me see, what is my best performing video under $50 of a product under $50? That video. Okay, perfect. So now when this video ends, I'll say, hey, and if you're interested in another option under $50, check out the video I'm gonna leave for you right here on the screen. So basically it's why they're interested in it, because they're shopping at that price point, and it sends them right to that video. And once I started doing that technique, man, the click-through rate on those end screens went through the roof. And I only have one option. I don't have a subscribe button. I don't have a second video. It's just the one video, the one screen, and that's it.
Trying to find an analytic here, which is going to show people what we're talking about here. Just trying to remember how to do it. Is it that one? Let's try that. Sort by dates. No, I can't get it to work. I've managed to do it in the past where I can show people how our end screen click-through rate was 2% this time last year, and then we do exactly what you suggested, Jeff, with the one end screen call to action, intentional, and it went from 2% to 8%. So it's increased our click-through rate at the end of videos by a factor of like 400%.
Yeah.
It's bringing in like an extra 100,000 views every quarter, and those are free views. There's no reason why you should be leaving them on the table.
Yeah, there's different touch points, and we always tell people that, like, if I'm going to send people to another video, I want to have everything pointing at that next video. Pinned comment with the link to that video, end screen with the link to that video. I'll put a card in just for fun. One of the little cards that you put in the corner, same to that video. And that's just how I'll do it. I'll have a link to that other video in the video description as well. So if any of those 4 points, send them from video A to video B, I want it as an aggregate. I want YouTube to understand that video A leads to video B and vice versa. So I can kind of create that loop in between them.
Okay, next channel we're going to look at here is RDC Live. They have 5,500 subscribers, but their videos are absolutely crushing it now, getting hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands. Nice work. Jeff, is there one in particular you would like me to click on?
I would say the RDC Love Triangle, who will Mark choose?
All right. So just before I click on this, I don't know how age appropriate this content this is. Because we have a wide audience, I do apologize if we have to pause this or stop this if we hear anything that might be inappropriate. But we'll see. Let's jump into it.
Yo, I hate being in business with Leland, bro. Every think everybody trying to get over on me.
Nigga, hey, I ain't been in business with your bitch ass. You don't never want to do.
Yeah, I'm not sure how far I can go with that. Unfortunately, there was quite a lot of language in there.
Yeah.
And also you were playing Monopoly, I think, which was a game. Probably just on that video. So from the few seconds that we saw, Jeff, we saw there was a lot of personality from the creator. They were using some fun editing skills. They were recording on a green screen. So lots of positive things to see there. Yeah.
No, 100%. Even though we can only watch a couple seconds. So big shout out here to the creator.
I'm going to let it run muted.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's just a little bit difficult for us to do this in front of a live audience when you have a lot of language going on. I don't have an issue with it, but it's just something that we have to throw out there. But so far, I mean, it's looking pretty good. Like for me, that was funny. Like I like the energy, I like the vibe. The camera quality is clean. Like whatever he's using for his camera and green screen, it's very, very crisp. So I like what I'm seeing so far. It seemed like the audio quality was okay as far as I can tell, but it sounds like he's chatting back and forth with like maybe through Discord or something.
I noticed how the editing is quite clean and snappy here, and is zooming into himself when he has something to say. He's putting captions on screen. But I think this is a gaming channel. For two videos that we've looked at are games. You submitted on a non-gaming channel, so that gives us an excuse to draw someone else as well.
Yeah, but it's still solid work. I mean, for a channel that size that's pulling in views that big, congratulations, man. You got to keep doing what you're doing, especially if you're bringing that level of energy and entertainment. Dude, just keep rocking.
I'm worried, Jeff, that nobody's paying attention to a single word I'm saying, and that they're just submitting. All right, no, this is not a gaming channel. All right,
good.
This is something that looks really interesting and intriguing.
Yeah.
Overland.
I'm digging the thumbnails, 6 Overland. I'm digging the thumbnails.
We don't have to say anything negative about the thumbnails. They are crushing it. So I'm going to choose over the titles. I hate the fact that you put Series 3, Episode 9 on it. That you need to get rid of that. But beyond the titles and the thumbnails, let's pick this one. Pause there, because what I want to do is watch another one of these videos just to see if it's the same intro. Okay, so it's not the same footage, but it is the same style. Jeff, what do you think to this almost like traditional television style of introduction, where we get an introduction to I guess the protagonist of the show. There's the mother, the father, presumably the daughter, and then I think they also mentioned producers as well. Yeah, producers, and then the branded intro. And that's all taken. It's still going. The intro is still going on at this point. Where are we now?
Okay. I get what they're doing. And then the way that this looks and edited, along with the episode 3, episode 11, season 3, episode 11, this stuff, it feels like they're trying to make a TV show, or they've already made a TV show. And I don't know if this is like airing somewhere or what the deal is.
I think,
what's up?
I feel the same way, that this should be on the Discovery Channel.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah, because so one of the things is I would be interested now. We could be wrong. We could be wrong, but 30, you know, we're at what 42 seconds before we even got to the regular part of the show actually starting. I would be interested in seeing retention graphs on that on YouTube, on TV, on Netflix, stuff like that. You can skip intro, stuff like that, so that's totally fine. But you know, I would be concerned about people dipping out, losing 50% or more of the people because it takes 40 seconds just to get into the meat of the content. So at least for me as a viewer, for TV shows, that sort of stuff, it makes sense to do this. I get that. But on YouTube as a viewer, it's not exactly respectful of their time. So like for me, myself, I would have it edited differently. That intro would not be that whole branding 40 seconds. I wouldn't even be doing anything like that. That's just me personally. But it seems like there is a goal for this content and for this channel that we're just not aware of.
Yeah, I was wanting to try and maybe watch one with the intro that we're seeing, but actually get to the point where they first start talking.
Yeah.
I can't see anything in the first minute. Let's go there.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, the B-roll is beautiful. The cinematography of it, the editing, it's all super polished. Like, it's really nice.
A few episodes ago.
All right, so we have some
found ourselves in a sticky situation in the Wyoming mud. And Alicia wasn't quite ready to get stuck again.
I think Tim Schmeier, who's recently joined us at vidIQ, gave quite a good analogy of this. If you're watching something on television, I'm trying to remember which way around he said this. It's more of a laid back viewing experience where you're laying back, you're relaxing, you're chilling, you're allowing the content to breathe. Whereas on YouTube, it's a lean-in experience. You're sort of like leaning forward on your desk or with your phone in your hand. And it needs to be more active and action-packed and more... what's the right word to use here? I'm trying to think of the right way to describe it. So I don't want to say more raw and authentic, because there's room for all types of content on YouTube, but I feel as if I would be happy to watch this video on YouTube TV, but I probably would be getting a little fidgety if I was watching this on the computer or on my mobile phone, because I'd be saying, okay, I'm 6 minutes in now and I haven't really learned anything about the story, or like, there's all of these beautiful shots, but I only want to see this beautiful landscape and these trucks going up and down paths and roads for about 30 or 40 seconds before you throw me into more storytelling. But I don't know, are we doing a disservice here, Jeff? Should we just be saying that this content can live and breathe on YouTube for a particular audience?
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I think for a particular audience, this would be totally fine, especially if it's people who find TV show style content on YouTube entertaining. Like if they like that, more power to you. That's awesome. Like as far as production quality, audio quality, thumbnail quality, they've got all that stuff on point. So for me, it feels like YouTube is a means to an end for what this is. Whether it's getting picked up or whatever that might be, but overall, I mean, looks wise, it looks amazing. It's just, to me, like I said, I'd be really interested to see what those retention graphs look like to prove the point. Like if they're saying, yeah, we love doing this, this is how we want it to look and this and that, but we also want it to live on YouTube, but you're losing 50 to 60% of your audience in the first 30 seconds because your intro takes minutes. Then we have a problem, and that's going to take some rethinking and some re-strategizing if you want it to be YouTube content. But that's just me. But aside from that, I mean, we can't. It's high production value. Like this is probably some of the highest production value we've seen in a long time.
Incredible, yeah. Are you using the right distribution platform with it?
Yeah.
It is a question. Does it need to be on the Disney Channel?
Yeah, this feels very much like TLC Discovery. Like this is what that feels like to me when I'm watching it. Something that I would catch on cable for sure.
Does it mention anything in the about section about this? Like, are they a television production company? No, not really. Jeff, can you remind me what Journey's channel is that we looked at yesterday?
Oh, I believe it's just Jasmine's Journey, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. So let us give you an example of, this isn't exactly the same type of content, but just watch the first 15 seconds of this video and see how the creator uses a couple of interesting visuals, but also introduces the story and a catch and the raising of a stakes within the first 15 seconds.
I'm off on my very first international trip, traveling from the U.S. to the Netherlands to spend time with my Dutch partner exploring the country. There's only one problem. I haven't met him yet.
So that was 15 seconds. And that just set up the entire video perfectly in a very short space of time. So the channel that we're looking at isn't succeeding in that. And on the YouTube space and how viewers typically engage with YouTube content, that's a concern Jeff and I have.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. Because I have no feedback as far as that goes. It's more than anything is the way that this is structured for a TV show, TLC, anything like that, perfection. But it's for YouTube, I would like to see the data before I say, hey, you need to make these editing adjustments so that it makes sense to a YouTube audience, because a YouTube viewer is not exactly going to be the same as a cable TV viewer, same as it's not going to be the same on TikTok. It's the same thing. The viewers are different. Their behavior is different. What they will tolerate is different. So just something to think about.
Okay, we're going to draw another channel. Just to remind you what you need to do here if you have just joined the live stream. If you are a non-gaming channel, then type in the chat just once, #non-gaming. If you are a gaming channel, type in just once, #gaming in the chat, and you will be entered into one of these two tabs where we are drawing the channels. So now, what I'm going to be doing is drawing another gaming channel for us to take a look at. And that next channel is Mike the Animal Whisperer.
All right, Mike.
This has to be an Animal Crossing. Oops, I keep putting it in the wrong place. This has to be an Animal Crossing.
Yeah?
That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I was wrong. I was completely
I was going to say Turok. Maybe Turok, the dinosaur hunter, but
I remember that.
that's too old for some of the kids in the chat.
Looks like this channel's already been reviewed by vidIQ at some point. Borrowing our thumbnail there, I've noticed. Right, so what should we pick here, Jeff? Any video jumping out literally and scaring you into playing it?
Well, this last video that they just did hit 110 views 4 days ago, which is outperforming a lot of their more recent videos. So I figured let's give that one a try.
All right, then. Prepare to be scared, everyone.
Yep.
Granny, are you there? Woman? Nothing there. All right. Nothing. Oh, rat. Okay. You scared me, Mr. Rat. Don't scare me like that, rat. Come on. Stupid rat. Ah! Rat! Whoa, rat! Oh.
Okay, 20 seconds in, Jeff. Initial thoughts.
I don't know what's happening here, but I guess maybe if you're familiar with the game, then you might know what's going on. But the issue that I'm getting here is that I'm just not sure what we're doing here. So
Yeah, I didn't feel welcomed into the video, really. I was just, as a viewer, I was just dropped into this place in this game, and you've got to try and figure out what's going on.
right.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No. That's exactly it. Like I feel like I just got dropped in on a game. Now, to be fair, I'm not a player of this game. Maybe if I was playing this game, I'd be less unfamiliar, but it still doesn't tell me within the first, 20 seconds, whether like, is this a tutorial? Is this a walkthrough? Is the, what exactly are we, is this just a let's play? Is it a challenge? Are we trying to accomplish something? So I'm like you, I didn't feel as a new viewer welcomed into the video.
And so your title says Granny Revisited. I'm just going to ask the question, well, why have you revisited it? For what purpose?
But why though?
Is it been updated? Is Granny back, and is she more dangerous than ever? What's the stakes? What's the reason for me to care about you revisiting this game? And we don't get it in the thumbnail and the title, and then we don't get it in the first 30 seconds. I appreciate that you couldn't record your face cam for whatever reason, because obviously I would say that capturing your reactions on a horror game is crucial. So I'm going to just try this one just to see how you do screen record.
No! Ah! Yo, what?
So again, Jeff, I feel another video where we've just been dropped in and I'm supposed to understand what on earth is going on.
Right. Essentially, that's kind of might be what's happening. So some of the feedback might be one, and here's the thing that we've seen this quite a bit with like gaming channels, right? Where when they're first getting started, they kind of don't have a structure for what they're doing, right? They don't so we kind of don't understand that we have to make videos for viewers, right? So what some people would call maybe like we have to be a little less selfish about it. Like we have to make content that people will want to watch. You have to give the viewer a reason to want to watch it. So beyond I'm just going to record myself playing this game and throw it up on YouTube, you have to take it a step further. So that's sort of what we're kind of getting at there, is that address your viewers, welcome them into the video, whatever it might be. It doesn't have to be some long, old, ridiculous intro. It doesn't have to be branded. None of that. Just looking dead at your face camera and saying, hey, welcome guys. Today I'm going to be doing this, this, and this in this game. Let's get started. Whatever it is, but clue me in.
I'm going to let this play for just a little bit longer because we may have done the creator a disservice here. It feels as if it was a jump cut and it may be an addressing the viewer. So let's just check out what that was.
Sure.
Hello, everybody. Mike the Animal Whisper here, coming back at you with some more doors. Now, we are almost...
Okay, so he does welcome the viewer, but it's kind of welcome back, and we're going to do some more of this. Okay, good. Again, I as a viewer am asking why. What is the purpose for you doing this other than to play a game and have somebody watch it on YouTube?
Yeah.
How do you make that more enticing, more exciting for the viewer?
Yeah. And that's the key, right? Because if you have to think about it like this, you have to take it a step further, because 99% of the people that are uploading videos about gaming and whatever game it might be are doing exactly that. So how are you going to take yourself and stick yourself above the rest of those guys, right? Take it one step further. If you can take 2, 3 more, cool. But you have to differentiate yourself, because if there's literally hundreds of people doing the same thing, what makes you stand out, right?
Yeah. Now, in terms of production, I think it's cool that you've been able to figure out how to green screen yourself on screen. That's brilliant. As I scrub through the video, I'm not seeing any real attempts at strong editing, like zooming in and out of your face. Again, because it's a horror game, I would expect you to have some major moments where you really want to emphasize how you feel and try and project that onto how the viewers may feel. But that will come in time. The channel that we looked at earlier, I'm trying to remember their name now, Jeff. It was like, it wasn't Run DMC, but what was it? It was something similar. You know, the channel that we couldn't really look at because of the language.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
We were seeing the video editing where they were zooming into themselves and they were using captions on screen. I feel as if this creator could maybe start experimenting with that a little bit more, because
Oh, for sure.
it just feels like, and the way the angle is in that you're looking down at something, I don't know whether you need to put the screen more at eye level, because it just feels like a bit of an odd viewing experience to me when I see how you're reacting. Like, how are you playing this game?
My guess is, I think he's on mobile. To be honest, I think that's what we're looking at here, and that's why he's like down like this.
Yeah.
But I agree, though. I would change the camera angle for sure, if possible. But also, you know, that's just me though. Just so when you have that chance, you can address the audience as needed, or if you need to punch in or react to it or whatever. But it gets better with time. It's just practice is really going to be key here.
Yeah, I think there's already some foundations and fundamentals that you've got going on there. You've hit 100 subscribers, so don't forget to claim your custom URL if you haven't already done that. And as you know here, Jeff, hey, they've got 100 views on a video, and that's a breakout piece of content, along with one here which had 2,000 views as well. So they've had some moments in the past.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so that is Mike the Animal Whisperer, and now we're going to draw another non-gaming channel. See what we have next. Christina Lakesh is up next. And we found you straight away. And so I am seeing shopping haul style content here.
Okay.
Is there a preference? And we've got a combination of shorts. I think there's also some family style stuff here. I haven't seen a mukbang video, but mostly shopping hauls.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me.
Let's go with this one, shall we? Dollar Tree, Dollar General haul.
Sure.
What's up, guys? Your girl Christina Lakesh. Welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my channel if you're new. So today is a small little Dollar Tree and Dollar General haul. And yeah, we're gonna get right into it. So over here I got some shavers here from Dollar Tree. Got my girls some nails from Dollar Tree.
Okay, after 25 seconds, would you agree, Jeff, that Christina got straight into it?
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, she got straight into it. I would probably just it's now that's a stylish choice, but I'd get rid of the branded intro section. That's just kind of a waste of a few seconds. They did manage to get out of it fairly quickly. I think less than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I would just it's kind of not really helping you in any sense. I like that they got pretty much straight into explain what it was and then started getting into the items. So far I'm okay with that. If I was looking for this type of a video, I would feel like they're not wasting my time.
Now, I'm going to ask the question, is it just you've already bought all of these items, you've stacked them up on the table, and you're just going to go through them systematically here? You've put on a little graphic there. That's interesting. Nice little prompts there for the viewer. You know, you were talking, Jeff, about how creators sometimes need to take it to the next level. How might this creator take this dollar haul to the next level?
Now, this would require a bit more research on my part as far as what haul channels are doing at a higher level. So production quality is one thing, but I don't think that's going to be really it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they need to go major camera or anything like that. I don't think it's really going to be required. I think if anything, it would be maybe setting price points, like almost like a challenge in a sense of what can you get with a $20 budget or a $50 budget or whatever it might be. That might be something where it kind of raises the stakes a little bit. To sort of differentiate yourself a little bit. But that's just a thought. It's just a thought. I would have to, now I'm not a a viewer of haul channels. Like as a viewer myself on YouTube, that's not what I watch, so I can't really say. But it would, like I said, it would take a little bit of research. I'd be looking at what other people are doing around Dollar Tree, around Walmart, around Target, even if it's stores that you don't shop at. Let's say that it's even stores that are not even in the same niche per se. But look at those videos as well to get some ideas of what could be working at a higher level.
Without watching more of this video, it looks as if it is mostly cleaning products or household objects, you know, as opposed to like toys or food or anything. So they've almost set themselves a bit of a theme in this video, maybe perhaps without even realizing or without emphasizing it. What I was thinking about, Jeff, was, do you think maybe the creator needs to share the experience of actually going around the store and like they have a trolley and it's slowly filling up, and like they find these Glade aerosol cans and like, oh, these are just like $4. I'm going to throw them in the cart there. And as you say, mistakes could be that their counter that is slowly rising up and they're getting closer to this $40 or $50 limit. I was just wondering, because maybe it feels a little bit static just to film everything that's all put on the table and not include some of the experience of going to the store itself. Like, I think this is similar as well. They're they're displaying everything on a table and going through it all. Perhaps some cutting in of them doing part of a shop as well might add more storytelling elements to it.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Even if they don't use the audio from it, like, so let's say when they find these items, right? So as you're shopping, pull out your phone, right there, just take a quick video of it or whatnot as a quick B-roll shot, and then just save it. And then after that, but now I don't want to speak, maybe editing is not their strong suit. So, sure. And that's totally fine. That's totally fine. But this is something that you can learn. You can easily do. I've seen people do it in iMovie if they're using an iPhone. I've seen people do it on free editing apps on Android. So that's something that can be, just like Rob said, an element of storytelling that can add to it, because you're breaking up the visual, but you're also illustrating, like, hey, you grabbing it off the shelf and putting it in your car. So little things like that. It can definitely help if you want to add a little more pop to it. But yeah, I think those are some kind of good ideas to kind of work moving forward.
Well, this is interesting. Talking about editing, have they added like a Halloween filter to the entirety of this video?
Is it the whole video?
How that I did.
I think it is. Like we're 30 seconds in.
Yeah, so Walmart.
Yeah.
I just like to get.
That might be a little too much.
Yeah, that's a bit heavy on the Halloween vibe. and mind you, I love Halloween. So don't get me wrong, like I'm a Halloween hater, because I'm not. I'm that guy that hands out full-size candy bars. That's me. I'm that guy. So but this is a bit much. So I would probably do it at the beginning, maybe at the end. But we're putting this filter over everything, and it's sacrificing being able to actually see the products. So just a thought, but it's a bit too much. I like the thought though. I like the spirit that's going into it.
Yeah, if you put something unique and different and fresh on the videos, that's great. But it becomes very boring very quickly. And so once 30 seconds into a video, I'm done seeing these Halloween graphics. I want to get back to the focus of the content.
Yeah. It breaks the focus, but also it kind of detracts from it. It becomes a distraction more than anything else, or it can lead to people dropping off. So that's the thing to kind of keep in mind. But like I said, I like the spirit.
Exactly.
I like the spirit, man.
Experimentation, absolutely, Jeff. Their creative heart is definitely in the right place.
Yeah.
I was just scrubbing over, and I think what I've also spotted is that, as you were saying, that maybe their editing chops aren't there yet. I think they're literally recording and shooting in one take.
Yeah.
And there's no editing whatsoever, which on the one hand is fantastic. I would love to just have a 4-minute conversation with a person about all of these things I bought at the dollar store, but I can't do that. I'd have to reshoot, fumble my words, repeat myself, etc., etc. So I think this creator's probably got it down in terms of just being able to speak naturally to camera. But this is probably where they might start to think about opportunities where they just like cut out 3 seconds of ums and ahs, or like where they're fiddling around to find the next product. You know, these little jump cuts just to get them started down that editing path.
Yeah, that's actually how I started with mine. So at first, my first videos were really rough, and but that's exactly how I did. I would do it in one take, and then eventually I just started thinking, oh, I can cut this out, or people started telling me like, hey, you should cut this and cut this and cut this. So that's how I started, with just removing either dead air or ums and ahs and things like that, and started removing that. Or then it evolved to, did I repeat myself because I wasn't scripting? So I started cutting that stuff out. But it just takes a little time in development. But I don't want them to lose the authenticity of this kind of like handheld recording.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want them to lose that, because that to me feels like it could be my next door neighbor or my relative, or, you know, my friend online and what they're doing. So I like that vibe of it. But just a little bit of cleanup here and there is going to really take them a long way, I think.
We could talk about the thumbnails and the titles, but that's for Tuesdays. So, Christine, if you want to submit your channel again, we would be more than happy to give you some constructive feedback on these very colorful, very unreadable fonts. I'm going to describe them as. But that's for another day. All right. Jeff, hello. Welcome to our video audits. I hope you're enjoying yourself here, but you're taking a couple of hours out of your very busy day to help us here. But, you know, what is your day job here at vidIQ? You're not just like occasionally helping us with live streams. You've got a very important role to play, and that's what we want to talk a little bit about now, isn't it?
Yeah, so my job at vidIQ is when people don't pay their bills, I'm the guy that shows up at your door. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. So yeah, so my job with vidIQ is I am one of the senior creator coaches for vidIQ, specifically in the vidIQ Max program. So that's what we're talking about, and that's one of our pride and joys that we do at vidIQ.
And so with vidIQ Max, obviously you get all of the tools that we have and have been on with vidIQ for years at this point: daily ideas, title generator, channel audit. But vidIQ Max adds more of a personal touch and family vibe. It doesn't, in terms of, you know, you're not just taking the data and making decisions. You're taking creator advice, industry expert advice, and all of the resources that we have, like beyond all of the free stuff we offer, like, you know, the videos that we do on the channel, the live streams. Those just like a tiny teaser of what you get in vidIQ Max, right?
Yep. Yeah. So basically, and just to kind of break it down, because people, you know, always mention the pricing and stuff, but what you're getting out of it, right? So that's the key. So firstly, you're getting all of the boost tools. All right. So you're already getting all of that included with vidIQ Max. You get 30 plus sessions with us and with industry experts already pre-recorded that you can dive into right away. Secondly, and probably one of the most powerful things that we have in Max is the Max Community Discord. That is one of the most powerful things that we offer. It is awesome. The amount of creators in there, the amount of people, not including just us as the coaches, the OG Maxers, the different experts that we have. It's incredible the amount of help that people are getting in there. So that's another big, powerful thing. Plus, on top of that, we are doing 2 sessions minimum per month live for Q&A sessions, for bringing in guests. We have some major guests coming up as well, once again. So the value is through the roof, and trying to find another program offering what we're offering at such a low price. Good luck. I wish you the best luck, because we looked. So we wanted to make sure. So when people say, oh yeah, it's too expensive, I'm like, you obviously haven't shopped around. But just like Travis says, if you can't afford it, no biggie. We don't take it personally, because we're still giving you as much free value as we can. You have the free trials for the vidIQ tools. You have 3 videos per week, 2 live streams per week of knowledge. So take advantage.
Some of the highlights so far, I think, of the industry expert sessions have been Jake Thomas, who basically gave you a formula or a template how to write titles, which is super powerful, and it can apply to any channel of any topic, any genre. We've also had on Ian Corzine, who gave some super valuable insights into how copyright actually works on YouTube. Some of the stuff that really needs to be kept, almost in like private discussions. They're so salacious to a certain extent. And Todd from YouTube has also been on our Mac sessions talking about the algorithm and revealing some interesting stuff about how it's actually quite valuable to share your content outside of YouTube. Which kind of all knocked us back a little bit, didn't it? Like we're always thinking that, let YouTube organically grow your content within the platform. But Todd was saying, no, share it where you think it should be shared. And of course, all of that is available through the vidIQ Max program. I did just delve into one of the Discord channels. It's called Brag It, where people share their success stories. And Bo Johnson, we actually audited his channel a couple of weeks back. It's kind of one of those hidden perks where you kind of get priority sometimes for channel audits. And he is covering eBay reselling, I think. And he's had one of his shorts here, get a 1 of 10. That's fantastic to see. I am Cav. Look at this, Jeff. The moment they joined vidIQ Max, their subscriber count pretty much doubled in a very short space of time, which is awesome to see. And also another channel that Dan and I audited, video reviewed, Dip Down Anime. They are screaming ahead, 200,000 views. Look at that. Look, and that's with a subscriber count of 400. So they're very close to their community tab. They're probably already going to hit 4,000 hours of watch time. They just need to hit their subscriber count, which they'll likely do by the end of the year. Now, we don't want to take all of the credit here. But what we do want to say is that these creators are no longer creating by themselves. It can feel like a very lonely experience creating because you are doing it in tandem with millions of creators. But unless you actually have a forum, or in this case, a Discord channel to speak and share your experiences, your successes, your failures, it can seem like quite a lonely experience. And I think the Discord part of it is one of the most powerful social communities that I think is on YouTube right now. So that is vidIQ Max, and we do just want to let you know that while it does come with a cost, we always offer a very special bonus discount on these live streams. And if you use the promo code that you can see on screen now, or the direct link in the video description that will automatically add this promo code to the pricing plans, when you're signed into vidIQ, it will save you hundreds of dollars on the annual subscription of vidIQ Max. So do take advantage of that if you want to. If you can't afford it, no problem. Jeff and I are here with you for the next roughly an hour to continue auditing your video. So let's draw another one here, Jeff, and see what we have next from the gaming side of things. And we are looking at Gross Out G. I am astonished that we haven't yet come across a Fortnite, Minecraft, or Roblox channel. It's going to change everything.
Oh, no, Fall Guys.
Fall Guys, yeah.
Nice.
This game that was very popular for about 2 weeks last year, at least for me and Dan. We very quickly moved on. And I feel as if this creator might be struggling with this same issue because they have 6,000 subscribers, but the view counts on their last few videos aren't very high. I'm just wondering if they have standout videos from before. So they're also doing shorts on Among Us as well. So that might be a channel focus challenge that you have.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I feel as if we should watch both a long form video and a short here, Jeff, since they have a mix of the two. So I will start with this one first. It's a claw. All right, 20 seconds in, and I'm lost. I don't know what this video is trying to tell me. Do you share the same thoughts, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, I get they're saying the Fall Guys custom show winners. I guess maybe the video is only going to show the winners, I guess, but I'm just not even sure what's happening. So yeah, I'm a little lost. I don't know if they ever speak at all through this entire video, but yeah, I'm just a little lost there.
I guess the one thing it's showing is the cutscenes, the animations of what happens when people win, I guess, custom outfits and avatars. But I guess it's given no reason for me as a viewer to be excited about any of this. And we've just seen one of these custom outfits, and now we're seeing just more of the same, like a montage set of these.
It seems like they're maybe the different animations around winning, possibly. But I mean, cool. I'm still a little bit lost on what that's all about. And like the other one is custom show winners 29. Oh, September 29th. So I guess they're doing it like on a day by day, because the next one after that is the 28th. So interesting. Yeah, it looks like they were doing like a day by day on these longer videos.
But my concern here would be that they're showing the winners of, let's say, the 30th of September.
Mm-hmm.
The video is actually going out a couple of days afterwards.
Right.
So I feel as if you're going to lose quite a lot of interest if you can't get the content out on exactly the same day.
Yeah.
I feel you might have to pitch it a little differently to the viewer, title-wise.
Yeah, the other thing I would say in the videos is voiceover could go a long way here to explaining what exactly is happening, or even you reacting to it like, oh yeah, check this out, this is pretty dope, or whatever it might be, but something to give me a bit of a, I don't know, a human connection. You know what I mean? So that's just something to think about, whether it's you reacting to it or explaining what it is, or whatever, but just something to help me connect with you as a creator.
Let's try one of the shorts. I will go for the latest one here, which has 2,000 views. It's got some music, so
yeah.
Make sure we don't get any copyright claims. I can't hear any voiceover, so I might as well mute the music.
Yeah.
So I guess this is just showing something interesting happening in the game. Relatively short. I think that was about 15 seconds. I guess this is impressive to somebody who plays the game.
Interesting. Okay. Fair enough.
It is, when you use that phrase, Jeff, fair enough. It's kind of like, okay, it's a video about Fall Guys. It didn't really make me laugh. It didn't really entertain me. It was just some action.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Essentially.
It didn't go, I guess what I'm trying to say there is it didn't go above and beyond.
Right.
As a short.
Yeah. Yeah. It could have gone a little bit further. And even then, it almost, at first I thought it had looped until I saw the end screen. And I'm like, they literally could have had that as an infinite loop. So if they would have just not left that ended, it could have just kept going. And I wouldn't even have figured it out until I'd given them like 800% retention.
All right. So is this one just music again? Yeah.
Yeah.
So at the moment, the creator does not want to introduce themselves to the audience. They just want it to be clips with a bit of music and so on. Also, you can see now that I think this is a picture of Sam Smith. So that's illustrating the music they've used from YouTube, the audio library, or it's called. I think it's going to be called Creator Music.
Yeah.
Eventually. So good to see that you're using the tools provided by YouTube. And that might be one of the reasons why these videos are performing quite well, actually. They're getting thousands of views because you're using the tools as they're supposed to be used, as opposed to falling into any potential copyright issues.
Yeah.
But I guess if we were to look at this channel and the videos that we've seen, Jeff, is it lacking a little bit of soul, a little bit of personality, something that's unique and fresh, that's going to make me want to come back and watch more of their content? That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yeah, a bit. That connection, and then also something to make it fun for me to come back. Something to at least for me as a viewer, if I'm going to watch, gaming content, which there is some that I watch outside of tutorial and that sort of stuff, it's usually personality based because they're either doing challenges or they're doing stuff that's a little bit different or putting handicaps on themselves to make things more interesting and more fun. So something like that could definitely help to get them to stand out above all of the other Fall Guys channels. That's really what it comes down to.
Dewey Rides is next, Jeff. It's, I guess, adventures on a bike in
Nice.
scenic, lovely views. I guess it's kind of a little similar to the outdoor off-roading vehicle channel that we saw earlier. Any one of these that you would like me to click on specifically?
Let's see. There is the one in the middle, top middle. This might be the most beautiful ride I've ever been on, I'm assuming. I can't see the rest of it. Red Rock Pass. Yep.
Pretty cool thumbnail complemented with a good title there, I think.
I think so.
I guess that's why you've been drawn to that one. Yeah, it's a music.
Yep.
Over it. Right.
Okay. Drone shot. Nice.
I am here at breakfast in West Yellowstone, and look who I have with me today. So we are sitting here having some breakfast, and for anybody who doesn't know, that's Tomac. His YouTube channel is Adventure Tomac, and we are going to go ride some dirt roads, do some camping, and hopefully take in some of the great Montana and Idaho scenery that we're going to do today. So,
all right,
Nice.
35 seconds. What do you reckon to that?
So getting going through the intro probably could have been a little bit tighter, but it's cool because they're just having a chill breakfast. So no biggie. But I like the way it started off. It's very scenic, cinematic. It's kind of giving you a taste of what's coming up in the video without him having to verbally say it. So I don't know if to me that makes it slightly repetitive, but I like the fact that he broke down what they were about to get into that day. So for me, it felt okay. A little on the slow side, but it still felt good, and that takes time. I don't know how many videos they have on their channel so far. They're at 300 subs, but just like anything else, practice it does help. So about a year or so, yeah. And I remember where I was 1 year into my journey, and it's not where I am now. So it definitely takes a little bit of time and practice to get accustomed to that. But so far, I was okay with it.
Isn't it funny how you're saying that you still thought this video was maybe a little slow?
Just a little.
And, we looked at the off-roading one where we felt it was really slow and somewhat plodding, even though the production quality was very high. What I like about this video is that we've got some fantastic scenery here. And, this drone shot, how long did that probably take to set up? Like 10 minutes to do that? And you only use it for 2 or 3 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
And within 10 seconds of this impressive scenery, you're now starting a story. And I like that. I think Dan has used this phrase, also Hillier Smith uses it, kill your darlings. You may have this amazing footage, but you can't let it linger too long on screen because the viewer quickly gets bored.
Yep.
And I think the creator realized that. They gave him a nice little hook of this impressive landscape, but now we're going to get into the video and start to tell a little story. I agree here, Jeff, this maybe lingered for a little too long, but just filming, running and gunning without a script, I would probably waffle on a little bit too long, and that's an art that you will develop over time.
Yeah, you get better with that, with practice. So that's really what it comes down to. But overall, still solid, and they're into the visuals, so nice.
Yeah, that's the drone shot that they were just capturing.
Nice.
Well, I guess my question is, how long is this musical montage?
future ride.
Okay, so it's doing some voiceover there.
Oh yeah, okay. So there's some voiceover. Interesting. Okay.
I feel as if just as I'm scanning through this, there might need to be a bit more of this, like interruption, like you stop to maybe look at some scenery, share a little, something that happened along the way, tell a little bit of a story. Because I feel as if your musical montages might be a little long if this is a 9-minute video.
Yeah, I agree. And even if, so put it like this, and I've seen a guy do this with, who was doing motorcycle tours. I believe it was in Vietnam or somewhere. The guy's traveling around, where he recorded a section where they were just talking, right? Almost like a campfire kind of a discussion and sort of kind of thing, where they had that discussion, but he interspersed that discussion throughout the video. So you would have, a minute or so of them riding through the countryside, and then it would be talking for a little bit, and then so kind of switching back and forth. So kind of that way to give you that pattern interruption. So I kind of see what you're saying, and I saw it work pretty well on other channels, but might be something to think about.
If you think about Top Gear, or I know Ewan McGregor has done these tours around the globe on a bike. Obviously, the scenery is a key part of the content, but 70 to 80% of the time, they're sharing stories and building on a failure or a success or something of interest that the viewer can find as they're watching the content. So it's kind of like that balance, moving a little more into storytelling, you and your friend and how they're enjoying this journey versus quite a lot of this going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Storytelling can play a big into it too. But like I said, that's just something that takes a little bit of time to develop. And that way you carry the viewers on a journey. And it doesn't even have to be necessarily to pull inspiration for that kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily have to come from other people that are riding bikes and doing bike tours and stuff. You can pull that from a lot of different channels that I've seen. So, but that's something that could help, because then you can take them from a beginning all the way to an end, and telling the story can keep that retention high as well.
The footage that here is incredible. I mean, how many GoPros have you got? Because it seems like you've set up angles everywhere.
Yeah,
you've got GoPros recording other GoPros recording you, and that's impressive work. But how long do I want to see this view until now? That's something different. This changed there, but now it's back to the head cam. Now it's to the POV. Now it's back to this camera on the exhaust. I've been seeing this now for about a minute. What could we do to mix things up a little bit so I'm not seeing this again? Because now I'm thinking, haven't I already seen this view? I'm not sure. I feel as if I've seen those mountains before. I can't remember. I've definitely seen that helmet before and those clouds. I know I'm being a bit pedantic here, but that's probably what's going through the viewer's mind subconsciously, that they're getting a little bit bored of what they were seeing there.
Yeah, if it's just music, I would agree. If there's voiceover and talking during those sections, then I would be a little more forgiving. So it just depends on what's happening there. But overall, man, I like where it's going. I like that they got into it fairly quickly. I don't know what their end of the video is like. If they're doing end screens or if they're doing calls to action. But that's another thing we should probably take a look at.
Well, let's find out. Let's try this one.
Let me be real clear.
Oh.
This is one of my least favorite stretches of road anywhere. I'm on I-90 coming out of Ellensburg heading toward Moses Lake.
Now, this is a different sort of intro, Jeff, where they're talking to the camera and they're telling us something that's important to them. Yeah. So what I would have done now is I would have cut it.
Let me be real clear. This is one of my least favorite stretches of road anywhere.
I would stop it there and then try and visually tell us while it is. Like your bike's getting stuck in a pothole, or you've been pulled over by the police, or something bad that happened.
Like footage and voice over it. Yeah.
Well, I guess at this point we don't need to know this.
I'm on I-90 coming out of Ellensburg heading towards Moses Lake, and the wind is brutal.
So I would say that's TMI. What I would have done is I would have somehow shown the bike being pushed by the wind, or you almost coming off due to the wind, if you have that footage. But anyway, that was an extra point for the intro. Let's go to the end.
Well, let's see. My luck may be running out with the good weather.
It's a beautiful.
Sorry, I wanted to check with you, Jeff. Do you
of these big mountains? Well, let's see. My luck may be running out.
Is he recording that as he's on the bike? Because it sounds incredible.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's recording while riding.
Yeah.
Which is pretty wild. Yeah.
Yeah, you'd usually hear a lot of wind and
Yeah, there's some good headsets out there that have really good wind reduction. It'll muffle your voice, make you sound very claustrophobic, but it will kill all that external noise. But I've seen it happen because I've known people that like to make phone calls while riding. So I'm like, all right.
So again, technically, visually, audibly, fantastic stuff. Let's see how they end this video.
Oh, it's the mic and the helmet.
So that's all you get for this. You're gonna have to tune into the next episode to find out what happens next.
Nice.
So
Okay.
not bad. I'm guessing this was the next video in the series, so they didn't know what they were going to be talking about. Like, you know, if your end screen is going to be the next part, obviously you don't know what's going to happen in that next part until you film it. So that might be the challenge there, but not a bad call to action.
No. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. For what they're doing, they're not telling you to subscribe. They're not telling you to do all this stuff. I didn't get any of the exit words, which I liked, because we basically just all of a sudden he's off the bike, and that's where we're going to the next video. That's great. For what they're doing, that works. And at first, when this video is the latest one, that might be blank. Or you could put a placeholder video there until you get your next video out, and then you can go back and switch it. And that way it actually goes in series. But overall, for end screen, it's surprisingly good.
Cool channel.
Yeah,
There.
yeah, definitely.
All right, let's move on to a gaming channel. Let's see what I've got next. We are going to be looking at Fantastic Rider. Does FR mean it's a French channel? Let's find out. It's maybe tricky if it is. Okay, I don't think it's a French channel. So a wide range of games here. I'm seeing Asphalt 9, Roblox, Truckers of Europe, whatever that is, Turbo Prop Flight Simulator. Jeff, I think because I can see more of the Asphalt game than anything else, should we try one of them?
Sure.
Let's do the latest one. Right, Chef, let's go back and critique a couple of things that are going on here. Thoughts on these first 4 seconds?
Unnecessary.
Mm-hmm. Simple as that. Unnecessary.
Yep.
What about
Just unnecessary? Yeah.
What about using an unlicensed video editor, which, you know, it's not illegal. There's nothing wrong with that, but having this here is going to make the video look a little more unprofessional.
Yeah. That's the thing, and this is also why it's. Whenever people tell me that, like, I'll see people talk about that. Oh, I need to, you know, in other groups and other places, I'm trying to get a branded intro done. Like, you don't need that. Like, just don't worry about things. Focus on on what you're doing and focusing on your audience. Don't worry about things that literally don't help you. So, like, branded intros are $50 that I'll never get back.
And then this next segment,
again, unnecessary.
yeah. Why is this subscribe button here? Why is any of this text here? What has this told me about the title and the thumbnail that you haven't yet delivered on?
Yep. Now, this would have been better. That screen where it says, today I'm going to show, or where they say, today I'm going to show, that to me should have been at the beginning. All that other stuff before, delete, and then just start it there, because at least that you're telling me, hey, this is what you're going to get from this video. So, you know, you don't got to do any of the other stuff.
Okay, so there isn't any narration here, and it feels like you're trying to tell me what you're doing by, you can see the touch input on screen. I saw them like circling weekly tournament.
Okay.
And so, yeah, no narration, just music. I don't think this music is related to the game itself.
No, it doesn't sound like it. I play this game, so yeah, it doesn't sound like it.
Right.
Could be to avoid copyright. It's a whole possibility. But yeah, let's see.
So, I guess just without narration, why you're doing this, adding a certain element of personality and uniqueness to the content, it does just feel like I'm watching gameplay from Asphalt 9.
Yep.
And how interesting is that to me as a viewer? I'm not so sure.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's they're gonna pick up views obviously on some of this stuff. So not to say that it's not possible, because obviously it is, but personality goes a long way with this stuff. And like I said, I play the game, so there are channels that I watch around it, videos that I watch around it, but it's usually people who are either one narrating what they're doing or explaining why they're doing such things, or giving you tutorials on how to either move up, how to soup up your cars, how to gain more XP, how to gain more money, whatever it might be. So that could be something you may want to start kind of looking into, adding into this sort of content. Start looking at it from a beginner's perspective and how you can start serving that audience as well.
I just want to quickly try another video, see if they're all similar and there's no narration and there's music. This one, for example, how difficult is it to land different planes in a turboprop flight simulator? This is very much a video where you would want some instructional advice, probably some narration. Would captions be enough? Same problem. I didn't come here to see an intro or a second intro. I came here to see how difficult it is to land planes. And I'm still waiting for us to get into this. Almost 20 seconds in. Okay. Ever played this game, Jeff?
Mm-mm.
Oh, wow, you can land that size plane on the sea, can you?
Oh, interesting. I didn't realize it was a seaplane. Nice. All right, fair enough. Yeah, that's kind of a trip though, but I agree. That's one of the things where not getting into the value of it is a big no-no. Really respecting viewers' time, and this goes for anybody. This really goes for anybody who is on YouTube, and respecting viewers' time is super important. Asking for people to subscribe before you've given them value, that's a major no-no. So that's some of the things that, if you have takeaways there, don't waste viewers' time. That's really what it comes down to.
I think the first gaming channel we looked at, or one of the first, was that gaming anime channel where we were saying that we felt as if a creator was really respecting the audience's time because the video was about 2 or 3 minutes long and they'd really thought about the script. This video, I can already tell, is too long. I think I would be starting to get bored after maybe the third or fourth plane that you landed, because it looks very similar. The plane's different, but what you're doing is very similar. And I feel as if this could be trimmed down to perhaps 2.5, probably 2 minutes 10 as a challenge.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Especially with the lack of narration, the lack of any kind of interaction, anything to kind of keep people watching. Yeah, I would agree. It probably needs to be a bit shorter.
Yeah. I'm going to watch this last one. I don't think any of these are actually seaplanes. You can land any plane you want in the ocean and it would sink.
Cool. Yeah, so that's something. The other thing I would say, at least for them, even though we normally don't do it, is definitely look at what the other channel's doing around those games, and start seeing how you can make those improvements yourself.
Epic Car Wash.
Oh, interesting.
This promises big things.
Yes.
All right. Epic. No, hang on.
No, that's not it.
It's not an Epic Car Wash. All right, let's try that again, shall we? Let's filter by that.
There it is.
Now we found it. Okay.
Oh, well, welcome to YouTube.
Yeah, so you joined YouTube literally a day ago. All right. I see. I'm getting deja vu. We did audit, I think, a channel audit on one of his car detailing and washing channels fairly recently.
Interesting.
4-minute 51.
Is there audio?
There we go.
First, you're going to want to hose it down. So I'm going to turn on my pressure washer. I'm going to spray it down.
It's a phone right next to the machine.
Yeah, that's all right. We're just getting started, so no worries.
Okay. The second part is to grab the soap for your tires, and I'm using the McGuire's Ultimate.
Okay, let's be kind to this creator.
Of course.
They are 24 hours into their YouTube journey, pretty much.
Yeah.
What are the first things that we could suggest here?
First things first is going to be audio. So first things first, and mind you that like this takes a little bit of time, and it seems like they're shooting on their phone. They might have set it down, but to think about this, you just set your microphone, a few feet away from you, and that's an issue, especially when you have a power washer, you have a lot of noise going on. This is where a lav mic can really go a long way. A wired one with a long wire runs you like $20 to $50 if you want something decent. If you want to go wireless, you have that option as well. But that's probably the first place that I would start when it comes to that.
Wireless mics have been really expensive up until recently, haven't they? But I went on to Amazon in the last couple of months, and I picked up like one of these, which is like a USB Type-C wireless mic. And I think it was like $40.
Yeah.
It's not perfect, it's not brilliant, but you're going to sound infinitely better with a microphone that's close to you like this versus a smartphone, which is probably going to be, here, like 6 feet away from you, not really capturing the sound.
Right.
So,
exactly.
You're going onto Amazon, finding something nice, and $30-40.
Yeah, I mean it's an easy fix, and it'll take the quality of the video itself much better. It'll be much more watchable because you're able to hear you, and that's the key, right? So we want to hear what's going on. Secondly, and I'm sure probably I would like to hear Rob's perspective on this, is I like the fact that they respected my time enough to get straight into it, but we also didn't hear what we were doing, and unless we just haven't gotten to the will change your life part yet.
Let me just play.
Hello guys, today I'll be teaching you how to clean your rims.
So
he did say it, we just couldn't hear it. Yeah.
What they could do here is add the B-roll in terms of a shot of a tire before you clean it and then afterwards, or an after. That would be a very simple way of giving the viewer some expectations of what they're getting into. Right.
Yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, we're just getting started. And one thing I would really recommend for Epic Car Wash to do is to really pay attention to there's huge, like, car wash channels, detailing channels are huge on YouTube. So definitely pay attention to what some of them are doing, whether it's like some of them really blew up around having the worst, most horrible cars and doing that conversion of getting them to look brand new again. That's a big thing. But even just doing like before and afters, you know what I mean? Like even on this, just showing us what it looked like before, what it looks like after. Your thumbnail could have been a 50-50 split, whatever it is. But that's a big thing that I want them to pay attention to is don't do YouTube in a vacuum. Watch what other guys are doing that's performing well, what the competition is doing out there. And that'll give you some ideas on what the car wash or detail viewers like to see.
And in terms of shooting, why? So this is a long form piece of content.
Correct.
Why is it being recorded in vertical? That's an obvious question to maybe ask you. So try and record in landscape next time if you're going to do a longer video. With short, vertical is fine. And then also I was trying to see, like, what does the tire look like here versus what does the tire look like at the very end of a process? And I can't really tell if it looks any cleaner. Maybe a little bit, but that's where you would have to bring your camera closer in to show the fine detail of what's actually been achieved here.
Yeah. 100%. So that's the thing. And I get like maybe didn't want to get his phone wet, you know, cool, whatever the reason is. But give me a close up at the beginning. Give me a close up at the end. That's a very bare minimum what you could do is do that so that I feel some sort of satisfaction, like it went from dirty to clean. So that's what you got to at least bring it. So like I said, they're still brand new. They're still getting started. But this has a lot of potential because there's a huge audience for people who are into this, like the cleaning of blank can work very, very well. They just kind of have to look at and get some ideas of angles and shots and the way that these videos are kind of formatted to improve their content. But I like where they're going. But first things first, man, we got to get a lav mic going so we can actually hear you when you talk.
I would say for a first go, Jeff, on the thumbnail and the title, I think this one's actually pretty good.
Yeah. I would get rid of that text, but yeah.
Sure. Is that your picture? If you've grabbed it from somewhere else, then it kind of loses its authenticity because that's the wheel you clean. But I don't know. I could be wrong here. It's like, how did you get so close up to take that picture? Because your tire didn't look like that.
Yeah.
So the expectation is being not set correctly there. But the thumbnail itself looks pretty cool. And I like the curiosity you're creating in your title. You know, if you get rims as clean as this, it is literally going to change your life, and that sounds a lot more exciting than how to clean rims and on your tires.
Yeah,
you're adding some excitement there, and I encourage you to do that more.
No, I like it. They titled it, you know, for a human. I would say in my mind. So yeah, I like where you're heading with that. But don't clickbait me by showing me a rim that isn't the same rim that you're actually cleaning in the video.
Okay, next channel is going to be Aqua Plays. And this must be about some sort of water sports.
Hello?
No, I think it's Roblox.
Ooh, we were so close, Rob.
4,000 subscribers. So the first question I'm asking is, with 4,000 subscribers, the view count don't tend to reflect that always. Although you do have one shot there that did really good. You just thought that most popular. Okay, so it's probably been driven by these occasional viral shorts that you're getting, which is cool. So I would say, given the number of shorts you have, you're mostly a shorts creator. So I'm going to go with that. Let's look at... I want to look at this one, which has 800 views.
Want to know how to get this animated face? Okay, let's start. So type this in the catalog. Then it's this one right here. Want to know how to get the other ones? Hello, guys. Want to know how to...
Right, okay. That was
Hello, guys.
A visual and audio tour de force of a certain type. Let's look at the problems first here, Jeff. What would you say?
Well, here's the thing. And this is just me. So, and I could be completely wrong. I'm not a fan of the robotic voices.
None of us are here at vidIQ.
So, but to be fair, that's how a lot of this like short vertical content pops. Like whether it's on TikTok, whether it's on Instagram Reels, you know, on YouTube Shorts, that's what tends to work for that. So, but it feels like this video got cut off. Was I tripping off that? Because it said like, here's how to get the rest, but it cut off and then restarts. I'm like, wait a minute, what just happened there?
I wasn't sure there. I agree with you, Jeff. And also just looking at how this video is presented, remember that the lower third, so this portion of the short, you want to try and avoid putting anything important, be it text, an image, something that the viewer needs to see, because you're never quite sure where the subscribe button, the channel icon, and the title is going to be. And because you put the captions at the bottom here, I can't really read what's going on. I can't read very well. I know you also narrate that as well. But yeah, it says get this, and then once I know how to get the other ones, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, kind of move on to the ground.
That's like a missed opportunity on a loop. So, but yeah, that's so just, I would be careful with that. Cause if you're going to tell them how to get the next ones, is it in your next short or like, what's the deal there? So it's a little weird. The ending was a little odd there, but you know, it is what it is. So,
let's try this successful 20K one.
Okay.
Let's try it.
Okay.
Okay.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, actually that was pretty cool. So shout out for the effort made on that short, because it seems to, obviously, I mean, it paid off in views, and yeah, nicely done.
If I was going to be uber critical, I feel as if it could have been done slightly quicker. I feel as if there was a few seconds you could have shaved off here and there, but I got the idea, and it was pretty interesting. And I think that's probably why it got a decent number of views there.
Yeah.
And then just looking at the long form content, all the long form content is very short as well. So like 24 seconds, 26 seconds. Let's just quickly look at this one. This took 4 hours.
Yeah, I don't know.
More music, more of the talking.
Yeah, I don't know if that's copyrighted music or what the deal is there, but I'm not sure what the point of that was. If anything, I would probably just be sticking with the shorts as far as this goes, because this is the stuff that's really paying dividends for this channel.
Yeah, it's obvious and clear why this video did well, because even Jeff and I, who have no real interest or understanding of Roblox, got the idea of that. You were pretending to watch this on your mobile phone, a TikTok or whatever, this dance, and then you were trying to replicate it. And we could understand that basic premise of the story. And so that's what we'd encourage you to do more of on the channel.
Agreed.
All right, let's move on to a non-gaming channel. See what comes up next. We are taking a look at Blazing Burster. I'm seeing some Beyblades in the channel icon. Yeah, that's the correct one. It's it is interesting to see, Jeff, how there are more and more shorts channels coming into these audits. It used to be just the occasional 1 or 2 channels. Now it's almost like every other channel is a shorts channel.
Yeah.
So they look as if they're doing trivia and did you knows. Let's go with the latest one, which has got 240 views. Mute it and then just let it carry on playing. What do you think to this one, Jeff?
So I saw Beyblade in a ton of their stuff. I'm not sure what that is, like in a ton of the titles. So I'm not sure what exactly it is that I'm looking at personally. If this was something I was interested in, visually it is appealing because it's showing them, you know, it's moving and dancing around, and they do move in a slightly bit of a different pattern. But aside from that, I'm just not sure what's going on. But I think it's also because I'm not the target audience. So
from what I can understand, because it doesn't have narration and it's been very economical with the text that it does use. It's showing the different styles of spinning from the different Beyblades, I think. Although this looks like the same Beyblade that they've used twice. And also, I guess from a production point of view, does that look like it's in focus to you, Jeff? It feels like the back of the plate seems to be opposed to the spinning.
That might be what's going on, yeah. It messes with it a little bit, but I agree. It's just slightly out of focus.
Yeah. Let's just quickly watch another one. I'll do another Did You Know one. So same style. Okay. More music. Very quick. It's These shorts are very economical, like 10 seconds or less.
Yeah.
And there's about 7 seconds. So really honoring the viewer's time, knowing that they're not going to be here for long. I'll give them some very quick information. I can read this text. I can then see the comparison showing the two videos next to each other. That's a nice little touch as well.
Yeah, no, I agree with that completely, because if you're just dropping a simple fact about something, get in and get out. Don't waste people's time. So, and even if you're not narrating it, because obviously if you narrated it, it probably would stretch it out a little bit longer, which would still be okay. There's still no problem with that because it connects with the viewer. But even then, showing that respect for a viewer's time is huge, in my opinion. So, yeah, got to give them kudos for that.
So here's another example of where the text is being covered, and because it's not narrated, I've probably missed out on something there. What, turbo bays have level chip holes, but they never released any, I think that says. And maybe this is a ploy by you to get us to loop through the short several times so we can read it. If that is the case, very, very sneaky. And then let's just go back, Jeff. I'm going to play another random one. What do you think about this? The lighting setup and I guess they're using like an arena where they can spin these things around. Again, it still looks as if it looks as if that is in focus, but this isn't. But I may be mistaken because it's spinning, and that might be causing the camera tracking issues.
That's entirely possible. So yeah, it could be like if they set it to focus in the middle, but as soon as those things start moving around, and then it starts to hunt and it finds a different thing to focus on and it locks in. So that could be what's going on. But I think for what we're seeing here, I don't think it's going to play in too big of a role, to be completely honest. I think it'll be okay. Lighting wise, it seems like they have one light source, and that's what's causing the big shadows. So this is why you can't see it here, but if you look at my shades, because I do a lot of top down, sort of like what they're doing, I have a light that's right here, this side, and I have another light that's right here on this side. And that way, when I do my top down shots, you don't get a ton of shadows in what I'm doing. So even if they brought in a second light to sort of cut down on that a little bit, you just have to play with it. But that's just something that could be done if they wanted to eliminate those shadows. But it isn't like a huge deal for what they're doing.
So we're guessing that all of the light is kind of coming from this angle over to the left-hand side, which casts that shadow.
Right.
So to eliminate that, you'd put a second light.
Yeah. And it doesn't have to be anything expensive. Like I've seen people do setups which really cracked me up, but just, they had like literal desk lamps. And what made the biggest difference was two things: switching out the light bulbs to something that's like daylight, 5600K bulbs, just regular LED bulbs. And then they threw a little bit of diffusion in front of it. I know one guy that was using just like regular diffusion paper, and it softened the light just enough to where it really looked good, even though he couldn't make a lot of lighting adjustments. But for his top down angles, it looked perfect.
So when I was recording mobile phone stuff for tech, I used this lamp, or two of these. So I'd have one basically on either side. There would be one here, and it would just be off screen, and then an identical one on the other side, and that eliminated all of the shadows. I've not got it plugged in, so I can't demonstrate, but you can do this relatively cheaply. Just make sure you get the color temperature right, as Jeff said.
Yeah. So that's the key to it, at least to get rid of that. But yeah.
Okay. So that was a Blazing Burster. What time are we on? We've got a little bit more time. We'll rack in another gaming channel. And this time we're going to be taking a look at Just Bread. So will this channel be about over?
Let's see. And Booze Buddy says he put a plastic trash bag over an LED lamp for diffusion. Yeah. Nice. Whatever works, man, by any means.
I bought a shower curtain from a dollar store and then cut that up. And the diffusion on like my ring light and stuff.
Nice.
Okay, so we found our first Minecraft channel 2 hours in, almost.
We almost made it, man.
Almost. Cool.
We were almost there, right?
cool thumbnails. Anyone in particular you should try?
Let's see here. Let's go. Well, cottage. Interesting. So, or building a modern house. See, look, remember how we were looking at a different channel? Building a modern house number 2. Remember how they were doing those numbered? Building a ship number 10. Like, that's so odd. Maybe that's a thing that maybe we're just not familiar with, but that's interesting. I would say let's start off with the how to build a cottage, 4th or 2nd from the right there.
This small cottage one.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty. So some relaxing music. You're showing us the interior, and you were showing us the finished interior there. And now you're showing us all of the materials that you're going to use, some measurements. I find that really helpful, by the way, when I've been house hunting. And your Minecraft character can float. That is really disconcerting to me. I suddenly feel as if I've gone into an episode of Minecraft Poltergeist. Okay, so what do you reckon there, Jeff? 45 seconds in?
So, I mean, it's obviously very straightforward to what they're doing. You know, they're getting straight in. But one thing that's that's missing, at least for me, is the narration, the voiceover. What are we doing? What are we building? Why are we building it? Why should I care? That sort of a thing, right? That's for me as a viewer, that's missing. Maybe for Minecraft viewers, that's not a thing. Maybe they don't need that. Maybe they just need it quiet with relaxation music.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, could it be intentional that they're just wanting it?
Oh, no, totally. Yeah.
Some simple text narration and some relaxing music in the background. Do Minecraft audiences react well to that? I guess is the question. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It could be different. It could be some people really like the voiceover style, and there could be other people who really want the quiet style. Just like there is a channel that does, a creator who does yard makeovers, right? Like lawn mowing and that sort of stuff. 2 channels. One of them where he narrates over what he's doing, talks and the whole thing. Another one where he doesn't do anything. It's just the natural sounds of the work going on. Both channels blowing up because there's an audience for both. So that could be what's going on. It could be that some people respond to this with no sound effects, no voiceover, and that's completely fine. And that could be the audience that they're going for. I mean, probably makes their life simpler. So
now this video is 30 minutes long, but I've just set it to 2x speed, and I can still follow this quite easily. So maybe there's an argument that the creator will probably want to check the audience retention here, that they could turn this into a bit of a faster time lapse. I don't know if there's an ideal builds time for videos like this.
Yeah, I mean, if it's how to, then it might have to be done at this speed so people can stop it and try to redo it if they're going to try to rebuild this exact thing as a tutorial, quote unquote. Because that's what it seems like now, time to start the top floors, and they're kind of going through it. So maybe that's the pace it needs to be. But because I think if it was not a tutorial, then they could really speed it up, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, whatever it might be.
I don't think it's a tutorial. There's not like a schematics in the description from what I can tell.
Right.
Yeah. This to me just seems like a viewing experience as opposed to a tutorial.
Seems like it, yeah.
Although it does say
least for me.
It does say, maybe I'm feeling a little shortchanged if I don't get something I can download to build it myself.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe, I mean, here's the thing. Now, this is just to be completely fair, because I haven't seen a lot of Minecraft tutorial videos because I don't do Minecraft. So if this is what a tutorial looks like for this type of game, then by all means, more power to you. But if there are tutorials where there's somebody either voicing over it or giving you step by step, here's what what size what size brick or block you're going to need, what size this, and here's where you need to put them, and really step by stepping, and then giving you even a PDF or whatever it might be to kind of help you along your way, that would be more how to. But if this is the standard, then it is what it is.
Yeah, again, I've got this running at 2x speed, and
okay. I was like, wow, they sped up.
I find watching like this a little more enjoyable than, let's say, if we put it down to normal speed. Yeah, I don't know if I could stomach watching it at this speed. But thank you for changing the camera angle there and showing us something different as you're building. Now you put it into a time lapse speed yourself.
Yeah.
Change the speed thing.
See that's actually a pretty decent. Somebody left a comment. Actual Archer says if it's a speed build, then the faster the better. But tutorials should change the speed depending on the complexity. 100% agreed.
So they've been doing this for quite a while. The thumbnails look fantastic throughout, I have to say. I see that you have tried to modify them a little bit in these most recent thumbnails. You've got an arrow pointing before and afters, a little more lighting play in there. I'm just wondering if there's a particular theme or style of build that you could adopt. Like a modern house build. Those seem to be the most popular ones. Could you maybe experiment on doing the next 5 to 10 videos are just modern house builds, as opposed to going from survival long plays to then building a small cottage to then building an underground house?
Yeah.
Maybe there's a little bit too much variety there that your audience isn't wanting to see. And then you also have these huge differences in video length. They're not necessarily live streams, I don't believe, but they are videos that are going to require a lot of commitment from your audience.
Yeah,
all of the videos over an hour long are not getting over 100 views, from what I can see.
That's a big ask. That's a big ask, man. An hour of time. I mean, for me, half hour, even at 2x speed, we're still looking at 15 minutes. Yeah. So for me, when a video starts pushing into the 40, 45-minute range, I'm looking at it. I cut it in half with 2x speed, and I'm like, it's still a bit much. Still a bit much.
Here's a question for you, Jeff. How often do you watch videos at 1x versus 2x speed?
Depends on the content. So some content, if it's I watch a lot of documentary type of stuff, a lot of explainer type of videos, things like that. Usually that's 2x speed. So a good portion of my day is spent watching videos at 2x speed. Yeah. But if it's something where it's like reactions or things of that nature, or it's more entertainment quality, then I don't do that at 2x speed. That's more at 1x speed. Or the other part of it is if the way the person speaks sometimes can't be understood at a faster speed, so I have to slow it down. For the most part, my own default is 1.5 to 2x.
Yeah, I'm the same in that, with the exception of MKBHD, just because I love the quality of his content. I always give him the respect I think his content deserves, and I watch at 1x. When I'm at my computer, and to be fair, when I'm watching Think Media, Channel Makers, all of our other YouTube educators out here, I do watch at 2x, I must admit. In fact, I even watch my stuff at 2x once I've finished recording it. But as you say, if it's more of an experience and you're settling down in front of your television to watch some YouTube, then it will be at 1x. But yeah, I'd say most of the time I'm watching at 2x as well.
You know, the cool thing is now they finally have speed controls for TV as well.
They do, yeah.
So I was like, okay, cool. Now we've got it.
Yeah, I think if there's vlogging channels, then I'll ramp it up to 2x.
Yeah.
But most of the stuff is 1x on the television. All right, last channel, I think. Brian went fishing, but what did Brian catch as he was out fishing? Let's go with Fishing, Camping, Emily Provincial Park, Ontario. So, a couple of things there. I liked how they made the opening of a car and starting the engine interesting with all of the jump cuts.
Mm-hmm.
Then it suddenly went very sinister, as if, on this trip you might get abducted.
Yeah, the musical choice, I agree. I completely agree.
Just didn't seem to fit where I thought this was going.
Right.
And it makes it sound even worse when it's like day one. Like day 3, what's going to happen? Are the police going to be searching for you?
Yeah.
Anyway, let's watch for a little longer. Now, you see, I think this is an example of where we've gone too early into like a montage, and you've got all of this good footage, and you want to use it. But me as a viewer, I'm starting to ask myself, where is this video going? Because you were going on a fishing trip. I've not seen any of that. I know you're getting to your destination, but because 30 seconds in, we're still on the road. Is it going to be like 2 or 3 minutes before the fishing begins? That's what I'm starting to concern myself with as a viewer.
Correct.
I'll let it continue to run with the sound off, Jeff, if you wanted to add anything.
No, I agree. It's one of those things where I love the fact that they have the beautiful B-roll shots and that sort of stuff. I think right where it got to that point where it said, the family trip or whatever it was that came up on the screen, when that music started to play, at that point, I would have cut in myself actually voicing over like, hey, here's what we got going on, something along those lines. But I'm assuming that they're trying to establish a sort of vloggy style to it, like vloggy cinematic style to it. So obviously that's not going to fit in, especially for what we're continuing to see here. And I don't know if they're voicing over it or not, or if it's just the sounds, the natural sounds.
I think I think this is going to be all music from what I can tell. Oh, so they've got a bit of an audio track from when they recorded it. Yeah.
Somewhat, yeah.
So I guess the concern I have is that, this has been shot fantastically. You got some great footage, but it's all at the same pace.
Right.
I would say it's quite slow, quite pedestrian. There's nothing wrong with that if it has moments of speed. Like at the very beginning, there was some speed where you were doing jump cuts of you packing up the car and starting the engine. But from that point on, it's all one pace. And I would probably start to get fidgety 2 or 3 minutes in on this one, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. And I mean, it has a very family trip vibe to it. The way that it's edited and the way that the whole thing kind of plays out, which is great for like memories and stuff. I actually made a video like this of a family trip that we had. But it isn't something where, I don't know how much it makes sense to a general viewing audience. Yeah. So that's kind of the thing that I'm a little bit worried about here with what's going on. And I don't know if this video is an outlier on their channel, if all their content is like this, or if it just happens to be this one. But yeah, it's kind of interesting. It feels, I don't know, it has a different kind of vibe to it.
I think you're right, Jeff. It would be a fantastic video for your friends and family, but for your target audience, not so sure.
Right.
Not completely convinced. Now, having said that, you've got 600 subscribers. The view counts are actually quite healthy on most of these videos. Maybe we are completely misjudging what the audience's expectation is. And as you say, maybe we're being influenced by this one video, and that's not what the rest of your videos are like. So I'll respect the creator, and we'll just try one more. Kind of got a fishing ASMR vibe to it.
Kind of, yeah.
Is this the entire video?
I guess it's kind of like fish with me kind of a thing, like almost like let's play, but like let's fish. Yeah. Okay.
So again, pacing wise, I'm not sure I would be engaged for the entirety of the video.
Yeah. Interesting though. I mean, for some people, I'm sure this could definitely work. Yeah. One thing I would be looking at on their end for themselves, for Brian here, would be really pay close attention to your retention graphs to see if you're getting any sorts of dips here where people are just leaving, where they're losing attention, anything like that, to see if in future videos, in the future when you go to edit a video, if there are lulls or slow points that shouldn't be in there, that you could end up removing to kind of tighten things up, to get that retention up as well. But aside from that, I mean, overall, I mean, the way that they're shooting this stuff is great. You know, the shots that they're getting are great. You know, I'm just hoping that they could probably find the right audience for this sort of stuff, because it doesn't feel like tutorials or anything like that at all. It feels more like documenting sort of what they're doing, sort of silently or semi-silently.
You might want
This
to
one
avoid this mistake.
feels a bit
Stepping
more
on one of the
traditional.
straps can be
Mm.
It is. Sorry, wait, it's a
Make sure you
review.
place your buckles
Some voiceover on this
the
one.
outer side of your feet.
Oh, interesting.
Wow, that was
Getting on the float
that
tube
is
for the
the
first time was
smallest
a bit challenging. for
we
me.
have ever seen. But this one did pretty well. 2,800 views.
Interesting.
Mm.
Makes you wonder if that you know, actually it connected with an audience a little bit more. But
Yeah, I think that so that the review here as well got some decent number of views. I wonder if you were shared it somewhere as a product review and it got some traction. But there we are. That is Brian went fishing. I would also question the cadence a little bit. You seem to be posting one video a month or less. Maybe these videos take quite a long time to film and then record and edit. That is understandable. I think you've experimented with shorts there a little bit as well. Now that is Brian went fishing, and I think, Jeff, that brings to a conclusion another successful week of both channel audits and video reviews. How did you find your first experience of getting into the nitty-gritty of videos there, Jeff?
no, it's fun, man. It's, you know, it's a good change of pace. See a lot of different channels. Give try to give a bit more critique on what's actually happening in the video once people get in.
Yeah, I often find that I'm giving this advice to creators, and then I'm guilty of myself of not doing them because I'm like I don't have a skill set or I'm too lazy to go into that much detail. So I think we very much offer a viewer's perspective on these, as opposed to, strictly speaking, a creator's perspective sometimes. Because I know some of the things I tell people to do, I'm guilty of not doing as much as I should do as well. Although I did spend, fun story, I spent an hour this morning taking a picture of my finger pointing for a thumbnail. I couldn't get it right. Like I took it this way, and then I took it that way, and then I had to change the lighting. And here, let me show you the final result, in case anybody is interested in what I've been doing this morning. So a video that we're going to be releasing soon, which is how to hook your viewers. Oh no, I changed the thumbnail because it was rubbish. Huh. I spent all that time taking the picture. What do you think, Jeff? Which do you think is a better thumbnail? That one.
Can't see anything.
Oh yeah, nobody can see any of this. Whoops. Let's try this again. Which do you think is a better thumbnail of these? That one or that one?
Ooh, that's a tough one. I think I prefer the first one.
This one, I do as well. You see,
Yeah.
what I had to do for this one is these fingers are not actually attached to my body.
Right.
I take those pictures separately so I can put those fingers wherever I want to in future videos. And that took me about an hour to do this one. And then
Get the angle right so that it looks like it's actually human.
get the lighting right as well.
Yeah.
So it matched the lighting on my face. And then I decided that the text just looked terrible. As I was pointing out, it didn't look like it was weighty enough. So I went for this one instead. And who knows, that one might fail as well. Anyway, I'm waffling here. I think it is time to say goodbye. Jeff, really appreciate your time as always. Hopefully I will see you next week for more channel audits.
For sure.
In the meantime, everybody, don't forget that if you want to take your education, your learning, and your inspiration to the next level, then we've got vidIQ Max ready and waiting. Jeff will be there to welcome all of you in, as well as our other coaches, Travis and Alexi. But for now, we're going to sign off, and we will see you next week, wherever you are on your YouTube journey. Bye for now.